What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about the slow carb diet. It's one of the ones that we're giving you guys to follow for this challenge, and it's my personal favorite because of its simplicity, its sustainability, and the impact. It is the smallest amount of changes that you need to make for a huge payout. This is the diet plan I've done that has been the most successful for me, that has been the most sustainable for me, and when I get my clients to stick to it, we get it very specific to them. They all 100% of the time get a huge, huge, huge change, and then they're able to maintain that for a very long time. Now, the slow carb diet boils down to 5 simple rules, and they are: 1, avoid white carbs. That means any carb that can be white. So rice, grains, it includes pastas. It includes potatoes or anything that can be white. So brown rice is also a no-go. Whole wheat pasta is a no-go. Bread, white bread or wheat bread is a no-go. Potatoes, that means sweet potatoes, also are no-go. No sugars, nothing processed, nothing artificial. Rule number 2, eat the same few meals over and over again. People immediately reject this idea that it would be boring and strict and that they'd get sick of the foods, but the reality is you already stick to the same few meals over and over again. You have a base foundation, a fallback, a go-to meal that you stick to for every single meal of the day. All you're going to do is find new ones that you would stick to. So you're not actually limiting the variety that you currently eat, you're just shifting it. Rule number 3, don't drink your calories. Simple as that. Rule number 4, don't eat fruit. We'll get into the science of this in a future video. Fruit's not the enemy. I'm not against fruit. I don't dislike fruit. Fruit's not making you fat. Just stick to these 5 rules for the slow carb diet for now. And then number 5 is take 1 day off per week where you don't follow these rules. You eat as much of anything that you want for that entire sleep to wake up period. It's not a 24-hour window that starts Friday night and ends Sunday morning. It's from the time you wake up on Saturday to the time you go to sleep. This has a lot of benefits to it physiologically, but mentally, I think it has the biggest payout. When you go on any kind of new diet plan, especially when you're being restrictive, there's an inevitable relapse that happens where you fall off the wagon, you binge. If you plan that relapse in advance, it's going to help you control it a lot more behaviorally. When you take that 1 day off per week, the scale will probably show it, and that's okay. Doing this diet in the past, the most I gained from 1 day of binge eating was 16 pounds, where the scale went up 16 pounds over one 24-hour feeding. It was an extreme case. I was experimenting with this. It's not recommended to do what I did on that particular day, but by Wednesday of that week, I was back down to normal. So you stick to those 5 basic rules. How you're going to execute this. Rule number 1 or tip number 1 is get 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up. This is where we can bend the rule of don't drink your calories. Just do a 30-gram protein shake. That's the easiest way to do it. If you do it with egg whites, you're going to get a much higher success rate and a much bigger return on your 30-gram investment. However, getting 30 grams of protein is going to have within 30 minutes of waking up, is going to have a substantial impact on your weight loss. People who are consistent in any meal plan and then they stall, if I tell them to add this little bit without changing anything else, it reignites their fat loss. If it fits your macros and they've been consistent, their weight loss, they dropped a bunch of pounds, then it started to maintain for a period of time, and say, hey, try adding 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up. They add that change and their weight loss resumes. It's pretty amazing. Eat from this list: proteins, beans, and greens. Proteins, try to keep them lean. So you can do eggs, mostly egg whites, add some yolks for some flavor. Chicken, fish, tuna. You can do beef, pork, steak, whatever. The leaner, the better. Beans, lentils, black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans. And then greens. Stick to green vegetables. Yeah, you can have some other vegetables, mixed veggies in there, but stick to green vegetables mostly, and you'll see a big amount of weight loss. You can do some tomatoes, and you can do a little bit of avocado within moderation, but stick to these things. Don't snack. If you feel the need to snack, first, it might be behavioral, which is going to be a big problem. On this diet, you don't need to snack. If you're hungry between meals, it means you're not eating enough in those meals, or you're not eating frequently enough. So just add another meal. As long as it sticks to these rules, you can eat as much of you want all day long. There is no tracking macros on this diet. Drink tons of water. Simple. Try to get an 8-ounce bottle with every single meal, plus drinking water in between it. And if you eat out, eat Mexican. Mexican's the easiest food to modify to fit these rules. If you go to a Mexican restaurant, you get the meat, you get the beans, you get the vegetables, you get the salsa, and you're good to go. It doesn't have it written up here, but try to avoid dairy. Everybody's a little bit different. If you avoid dairy entirely, you're going to get very, very fast results. Some people can get extreme results on this diet while eating dairy. Some people can't. So you're going to want to experiment with yourself and build it up slowly. More specifics are going to come on this in the future. This is my personal favorite, so it's the one that I wanted to do first. Feel free to comment on this video and ask questions in the group so that I can start answering them now, and we're going to save some of those questions for the live Q&A that's going to happen on Monday. Do the work.